is Meera Hoffman, and in this video we're going to be going over some great techniques to address sort of the upper back using chair massage, as well as the neck and arms. All these techniques are going to be great at relieving pain and tension in those areas, headaches, migraines, as well as some focus on some carpal tunnel relieving techniques. So we'll begin just kind of connecting and warming up the back. And I like to use nice open palms here, pressing on either side of the spine. Working down the erector muscles, which are the muscles that run on either side of the spine. And we'll go all the way down to the hips, and then we'll make a little return path, pressing up. I like to keep a nice wide stance here, just to give myself plenty of support. It also allows me to give as much pressure as is desired. And coming up to the neck, we'll shift into moving our fingertips, working on the smaller muscles that help hold up the head. It's also a great opportunity to take a little bit of an inventory. If stuff feels tight, then I can come back and target that a little bit more. We'll transition into using our forearms. So I'm kind of just placing the flat part of my forearm on the top part of the shoulder. And I kind of come just right adjacent to the neck. So kind of make contact with the neck as sort of my guard line or guardrail. And then my pressure is downwards. So this definitely gives you the opportunity to press in a little bit more. And definitely make sure to check in with your recipient about pressure. How's that feeling so far? And I always like to give them the opportunity, because our bodies can vary quite a bit on sensitivity in different areas, that if at any time anything I do doesn't feel comfortable, to please just let me know and I can adjust. So you could see I was kind of making a slow draw or drag outwards with my forearm. So bringing it in towards the midline, placing the pressure, leaning in, and then slowly starting to traction my weight outwards. And sometimes you may notice kind of a little bit of a bump or kind of firmness in the muscle. It almost feels like you're kind of jumping off of it a little bit. So I try and do this slow and with control, but you'll notice my hand kind of hits those spots and sort of hops off, or my forearm does. And then you can take this movement down the back of the spine. So now I'm kind of transitioning to using my forearm, just placing it into those erector muscles. And we can even go all the way down. Now, for the purposes of this video, we're really just focusing kind of on the mid, back, and up. But it's nice to kind of connect those movements. So I'll let my arm slide down and just work down towards the hip. We can also place the arm and then this time rock upwards. So using this movement gives a little bit more targeted focus on these different muscles in the shoulders. And then I'll bring my palm to the edge of the scapula. And just work the edge of the scapula. It's a way to kind of smooth over that deeper work we just did. And using my upper hand, I'll press into the shoulder, kind of pressing it down away from the ear. Tracing around the circle of the scapula. And then I'll use my fingers and thumb to scoop the neck muscles up. So you can kind of do a balanced approach where the fingers and thumbs are both equally pressing, or you can use your thumb to kind of more targetedly press into those tight muscles, and then the fingers just become a kind of balancing point or support point. And taking a moment to do a couple passes up and down. It's kind of scooping those muscles up. And again, if someone's tight, you may feel like you're kind of hopping off the muscles a little bit. And just try and move slowly to avoid making that dramatic. And maybe they need a little bit less pressure depending on how they're feeling. So I like to come up here and just use my fingertips to melt into all the tiny muscles underneath the occiput, which is the base of the skull. And working a little bit downwards. And again, it's almost like finding little pebbles or stones. It's like there's a little bit of softness, but the muscle will kind of feel a little bit round or a little bit hard. Making little circles. And come down the neck. And then I'll use my fist. And this is just a dental fist, so I'm not like trying to squeeze it super tight, but like just a nice loose fist so that I can use the tops of my fingers to apply pressure downwards on the shoulders. So starting kind of closer to the midline, and then we'll slowly roll and press outwards. When you start to get to the bonier part of the shoulder, you can switch to using the palms of your hand. And then we can also walk back inwards. So I'm trying to avoid grabbing any of those little tiny wispies because it hurts when they get pulled on. And then I'm working down towards the scapular edge, tracing along the vater scapula and upper trap. And now we'll come to the other side to do the same thing that we were doing with the forearms on the opposite side. And then we'll just kind of trace down those muscles, going all the way down into the low back and hips before coming back up. And sometimes I'll just come back into that original forearm on the shoulder position and then use my bottom hand to press inwards towards the spine gently on the erector muscles. And then from here we'll go into tracing the scapula again, using our lower hand to press and move the muscles surrounding the shoulder blade. And we can use our upper hand to help cover the upper part or top of the shoulder and pushing the shoulder down and away from the ears. And then we'll transition into kneading and scooping the neck muscles. And And again, we're just kind of using our fingers on the opposite side to stabilize. And I'm really using my thumb to give focus pressure into these tight muscles. So feeling for the muscle, I'm kind of pressing inwards and then scooping / rolling up. And I'll make a couple passes, kind of going up and down the length of the neck. We can come back to above the head and use our fingers, pressing into the suboccipital muscles, which are the tiny little muscles at the base of the skull. And then we'll carry that work downwards, making small circles on either side of the spine. And just feeling around. If you feel a tight spot, you can hang out there. Give that a little bit more focus. And you may notice one side has a little bit more tension than the other, just depending on how we hold our head or sleep. Different things, maybe have past injury or accident. This can all kind of impact the balance that we experience in our body. And coming down to the tops of the shoulders again, using our open, gentle fist, we'll press into the tops of the shoulders with the flat part of the backs of our fingers and work our way out towards the edges of the shoulder. We'll transition to an open palm as we get onto the more bony surfaces and just pressing the shoulders away from the ears. And from here, we can work on scooping the muscles of the deltoid and arm. And when we get to the forearm, I like to transition into thumb presses. And then pressing using your thumbs into sort of the just very midline of the forearm. And just trying to work between those two bones. So really trying to stay in the muscle belly. And we'll squeeze out once we get to the wrists, squeeze out the hands. And then we can come working on one hand and one arm individually. So I'll bring both hands to squeeze the hand. And I'm just kind of rolling the hand inwards towards itself. And I like to give a lot of attention to this area. So people that have carpal tunnel, their hands are used to being kind of in this position because they're typing a lot. So you notice tension patterns kind of in the back of the wrist as well as the bottom of the hand. So really working to open up the muscles and tendons. You can spread the fingers and palms nice and wide. And it just feels super yummy. Getting your hands worked on, especially if you use them a lot. So just using the meaty part of my thumb and making just passing small 1-inch kind of sliding strokes. And you actually don't need any lotion for this. If some people have really dry skin, you may want to use a little bit. But I think it's great because if you're in an office environment, people may not want to have their hands be all greasy after they get done with the session. Not the end of the world, but I just like to respect their preferences. If they have to go back to work immediately, they're not going to want to take more time to go to the bathroom. And then we'll work on the back of the wrist and the back of the hand. Just kind of pressing and squeezing out the fingers. And then we'll do the same thing on the opposite hand. So squeezing and rolling the hand inward. then we'll use our thumbs to make little small strokes into the palm of the hand. You can use quite a bit of pressure here, of course, being sensitive to the needs of your client. And working over each kind of ball joint of the fingers. And then working in the grooves between the finger bones, and then squeezing out each finger. And then to come back out, you have a few different options, but you can just retrace the pathway you came in as one option. I'll show you some other options and then some of the other videos. And just squeeze the arm muscles and the deltoid. Maybe get the back of the shoulder blade. And then pressing down on the shoulders again. This just feels super yummy. And coming back up the neck. And then I like to close just putting a nice resting hand on their back, giving them a moment to just kind of integrate in stillness. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the rest of the series. Thank you. Please go over to wellnessplus.tv, where you can find the rest of this series, as well as hundreds of other videos on health and wellness. And if you'd like to find out more about my practice or book a session with me, you can visit meerahoffman.com or serenitywellness.us. Wishing you all the best. Goodbye.
With hundreds of videos that you can stream on virtually any device to help you reduce stress, lose weight, or just improve your health and well-being overall. At wellnessplus.tv, we are dedicated to helping you on your health and wellness journey. Join wellnessplus.tv to find hundreds of videos to help you improve the health of your body and your mind. Wellnessplus.tv. Get well, feel better.